Hello everyone, it's Infinity Break, coming at you today with yet another mod review. I know I've been putting out a lot of mod reviews as of late, but that's because last week I planned on doing a lot of them, and Endgame came out, so I had a lot of my schedule was messed up. A lot of movies I saw that week, and it was not smart of me. But now, this week, we're doing a lot of them, so that way I can get these out of the way, so that way I can move on to more mods. I don't want to say I'm getting this mod review out of the way, because this mod was actually really, really cool. Today's mod review is actually going to be covering the Continuum Gauntlet by Phantomofthesith, and you couldn't probably tell just by looking at this mod, but this is this mod author's first ever mod, and let me tell you, for a first mod, this thing is impressive, and it's an awesome little nod to the Avengers series with the Infinity Gauntlet. I love this, and I enjoyed playing it, and I'm going to tell you today whether it's worth your time or not, the issues that I feel like the mod author could improve upon, anything else that I think is really interesting about the mod, and just some general information about it in general. So the first thing I'm going to discuss about this mod is, what is it? The Continuum Gauntlet is basically the Infinity Gauntlet from the Marvel Universe. Now, whether you're a fan of the MCU or the comic books or any other sort of medium involving Marvel, you typically will have heard of the Infinity Gauntlet. It is one of the most powerful utensils within the Marvel Universe, and is honestly one of the coolest, being made up of 6 stones from 6 ancient beings that made up the universe to begin with. Now, in Skyrim, it works a little differently. The Continuum Gauntlet works off of, yes, 6 stones, but each broken down into an amulet that is hidden somewhere across all of Skyrim. In order to find these, you will have to read a little bit about each stone from the area in which you find the gauntlet, because there are a couple books talking about the general location, and of course, if you can't figure it out from there, the official Nexus mod page also has the locations listed at the very bottom of the description. Now, each stone, or should I say necklace, has a unique ability. It's based around the concept of the original Infinity Stones. So each necklace is imbued with one stone from the gauntlet, essentially. So you have the Time Stone, the Space Stone, the Reality Stone, the Mind Stone, the Power Stone, and the Soul Stone. Each one has a unique ability that is added to you when you wear it. Now, if you want to get the full list of powers, you can obviously combine them all into the gauntlet that comes with the mod, obviously. You have to go to Stendarr's Beacon to get this gauntlet. It is basically the holder for all of the gems, and you can wear each gem individually, but you cannot add them to the gauntlet as you go along. You have to wait until you either get half of them or all of them. I kind of was a little annoyed because I would have liked to see the stones be individually added to the gauntlet, like you were Thanos himself, just adding the stones to your collection, adding them into your little gauntlet so that you can build up to the ultimate Infinity, or should I say Continuum Gauntlet at this point. And I know that in the future this might be added in, but that's something I feel like that could be added in. And with the way that Phantomofthesith has been going about updates and such lately, I wouldn't be surprised if within a month or 2, maybe 3, that this mod will have a lot of really cool and interesting components added to it. Because I feel like Phantom is going to definitely continue to polish it. With how much I've discussed with them how this mod works and all that, and some bugs, they have responded perfectly by just constantly working on it and sending me updates and information. And I feel like this is definitely a possibility in the future that this will be added in. But yes, getting the gauntlet itself is cool because it adds all of the powers that you can get from wearing the necklace into one individual item that you can wear. And it's kind of cool because it's not just both gauntlets, it's actually just the one gauntlet that you wear, and your other hand is free. And I really liked it because wearing it, looking at it like on your person, actually looks like a real Infinity Gauntlet, and I like it. If you look at it in the menu, it looks kind of janky, a little weird, but honestly, like I said, give it time and I'm sure it'll be fixed. And like I said, as for now, all that really matters is that the gauntlet on your person looks nice. I used this in a machinima, that's how good it looked. It looked like the real Infinity Gauntlet. Really nice texture, really nice use of the assets. I think the stones looked really nice. Feel like it could have been a little flashier, maybe, but I feel like the reason that the mod author gave me for not making the stones glow in the first place was because they felt like it was too distracting, which makes sense, honestly. Especially when you consider the fact that in Skyrim you go through caves and such all the time, and how dark it is. I definitely can see the reasoning behind this. The powers are nice. It definitely feels like there's a lot of effort put behind them. The Time Stone is probably one of my favorites besides the Meteor Shower and Obliviate Spell. The spells that you get go in this order. From the Space Stone, you actually get a really cool teleportation ability. It's actually kind of cool. I like it. It's pretty seamless. It takes the idea of the whirlwind sprint shout and basically turns into a teleportation. And I like that. It might mess up your computer if it's lower end and can't handle it, and depending upon how far you teleport. But if you're only using it in combat to get around certain areas, honestly, it works pretty well. I tested it out a little bit, and I didn't really run into any issues with it, so I feel like it's a pretty good balanced power. The Power Stone gives you a special little heavy damage kind of shock spell, sort of like just sparks, but a little bit more powerful than that, like a lot more. I actually tried it out. I don't know if I was using the right one, because I realized I had some issues with this mod with some of the powers loading in, and I might have been using another spell, but I felt the spell I was using wasn't that powerful, but I might be wrong. It might actually be very powerful, I might just had an issue with it. The Mind Stone adds the abilities to affect NPCs, whether or not they'll be hostile or not. It basically just gives you a spell to pacify or to anger them, and it makes sense. It's not super overwhelming, but I feel like it made sense considering the context of what the stone actually does. The Reality Stone adds a pretty cool defensive ward. I never really used it, but again, it makes sense. It seems like it can block a lot of attacks, and it doesn't take up too much magicka, so you're able to use it a lot longer than most. And it has a really cool secondary ability which allows you to teleport into a pocket dimension, which is what I think the real power of this stone is. Being able to go into a pocket dimension is freaking cool, because it has all the things you'll ever need. It basically dubs as a player home too. So as long as you have the Reality Stone, you can go to this place. Just don't lose the Reality Stone, or you're not going to be able to go back and get all your stuff. So be careful with that. The Time Stone is dangerous. I never had any issues with it testing out the whole thing, because I was cautious with it. So as long as you're not trying to wait while the spell is active, as long as you're not trying to fast travel or enter locations with the spell active, then I feel like you'll be fine. I think the Time Stone's ability to just slow time to basically a halt with your enemies not able to do anything was really freaking cool. I liked it a lot. It was really nice. It's basically the slow time shout, but I think it works a lot better because it lasts a lot longer, and it was just really fun to play around with, honestly. And the other stone, which is the Soul Stone, has this one ability called Soul Siphon. This one is powerful. It's basically the ability to rip souls out of bodies. You hit them with the spell, and a second later, pop, they're dead. Doesn't matter what they are, what level they're at. No matter what enemy you're facing, they will fall to the Soul Stone. And it is probably one of my favorite. The only thing I didn't like about this power was that it takes just a little bit too long to charge. It makes sense considering how powerful it is. I would literally slow down the power charge up time by maybe like a second or two at most, maybe like a second and a half, and then maybe make the magicka cost a little bit more, because as it stands, it is extremely annoying when you're like trying to charge up the spell and you keep mistaking what time that it's actually ready at. That's the only thing I think I could complain about that spell. It's probably one of my favorites besides the others that I'm about to mention, honestly. Now, once you get the Continuum Gauntlet itself, it adds 2 more abilities to your roster. There is the Obliviate Spell. This one is awesome. You gotta be careful when using it because it's super powerful. It's basically, you take your hand and you raise it in the air and you cast the spell, or snap if you want to, and everything around you that isn't essential just turns to dust and dies. It's one of the funniest things, especially when you get a kill cam for it, because it just shows you and everything around you just turning to dust, and it's hilarious. I think I died the first time I found out that you could get kill cams with it, because it was so cinematic and funny. But the other spell, which is awesome, is basically Meteor Shower. There's a scene in Avengers Infinity War where the Avengers, and spoilers for Infinity War, but it's been out for a year or two, so yeah. There's a scene where Thanos literally brings a moon down on the enemies that he's fighting, which is Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and it is epic, and they the mod creator Phantomofthesith managed to basically recreate this by using the All-Doing Shout spell at the beginning of the game that summons in a bunch of meteors that strike the area around you. And it is awesome to use. I don't mind the fact that this one takes a little bit to charge up because it lasts a long time, and honestly it eats up enough magicka. This one's balanced. I think this one, besides Obliviate and Time and the Soul Stone, is my favorite. Though those are all the spells you can get. I've talked about how the Gauntlet looks awesome. Getting them is basically you just run around, you get the locations, and you can find them naturally in your playthrough. you beating a lot of the main-esque quests of the game will reward you with the stones, or necklaces if you will. The gauntlet you have to go out of your way to find, but once you find all the stones, you can make the Continuum Gauntlet and use it to strike down all of your opponents and balance all of Tamriel. And let me just say, like I said, for a first ever mod, I know that there were a lot of bugs, but this is impressive. The mod authors said they took a year to make this mod, and it shows, because these spells are really freaking cool. The models are really cool. I think if you just made the menu model that you look at before you put it on, if you fix that, if you maybe take some time to, I think personally, balance the Soul Siphon spell by making it a little bit faster and just maybe cost a little bit more magicka, and then obviously polish any of the bugs and scripting errors that might occur, because I encountered quite a few, but it was understandable, honestly. If you just take the time to put some polish, fix up some of the things that aren't quite right just yet, I feel like this mod would be perfect. And if you want to try it out now, it's still pretty good. It's a fun gauntlet to just play around with. You can summon the gauntlet into your game if you want to by using like Continuum Help, finding it, summon it, or you can just go around and be legit and find all the stones naturally, which is still pretty good. Besides that, I have to say I would definitely recommend this mod with Endgame coming out, or already being out at this point, I should say. It's definitely a good time if you're feeling getting a little bit of your Marvel on and just testing out this mod. The mod author will continue to support it, to update it, to fix any issues. And if you have any issues, or if you like the mod, go check out the mod author. All the links will be down in the description. And I have to say, I definitely recommend this one to you guys. It was definitely fun to use, and I had a lot of fun making my own little Infinity War trailer with it. That was the Infinity Gauntlet that was featured in that machinima, and I have to thank Phantomofthesith for actually letting me do a review and letting me actually use that in that machinima. That was really cool. Thank you. But yes, I believe that's all I can do to talk about the Continuum Gauntlet. I really like this mod, like I said. I definitely recommend checking out Phantomofthesith, but that's going to be it for me today. If you guys want to see anything specifically in the future, if you want to help testing out your mods, if you want me to review them for you, if you want to see them featured in any of my videos, let me know. I'll do everything free of charge, no questions asked. Just give me a heads up ahead of time so I can get ready for it, essentially. I am going to be starting off with a new mod review, a new mod playthrough, I should say, probably within the next couple days. There will be a new theory coming out on the Doreni Tower and how it might be involved in the Elder Scrolls 6. I have to make a study of the Elder Scrolls Part 2 Daggerfall, as I've been playing a lot more Daggerfall as of late, so I feel like I'm finally ready to make that little video. I had to make the Part 2 to the Bethesda Shared Universe theory. That's going to be coming out soon. And then, obviously, besides that, I'll just be posting my mod playthroughs and, obviously, reviews for any weapons or player homes or anything else that I used in the video. So, look forward to that in the future. Let me know if you have anything. Thank you for watching the video. This has been Infinity Break, reminding you all to say it with me now. Play well, eat well, and of course live well, friends. I hope you guys go out there and strive to break infinity. I hope you guys have a nice day, night, evening, wherever and whenever you're at. Take it easy, guys.